How about we talk about the Lord of the Rings Extended Edition? I just did a rewatch of that, and it's a masterpiece. There are very few movie trilogies that I would describe as perfect. The original trilogy of Star Wars being the other one, and yeah, Lord of the Rings Extended Edition, I would say, is damn near perfect. It's very solid. Yeah, I haven't watched the extended editions in a long time. But they really are the best way to watch it. You miss out on so much context with just the theatricals. They're perfectly fine without all the extended material, but it's no contest that you got to watch the extended editions, even though it's literally like 12 hours. But it's worth it. It's really worth it. It's really good. What I would say stuck out to me the most is that I could kind of sense that there was something that actually Halo got from Lord of the Rings, and that is sort of the atmosphere of everything is hopeless. We cannot even possibly hope to stand up against the enemy. This entire war is literally just delaying them because we can't actually do anything. But there's still hope, right? Because the whole, oh, we're just delaying the inevitable, that happens all the time in a bunch of like grimdark stories, you know, like Game of Thrones. We'll talk about that later, but Game of Thrones has that. Warhammer, both fantasy and 40K, has that. But what makes Lord of the Rings and Halo much more satisfying, sorry, I'm just checking the water, is that there is still hope and that the characters' actions still matter. And it's really nice to see that. It's really nice to be like, you know, there is something we can do, you know, like we're not just standing here waiting around to die. And that's a really nice thing to have in a story. And it makes you feel like, you know, your characters actually have weight and like what they're accomplishing is like pertinent, because like if not, why bother unless you're focusing on the futility of that, which, you know, there are stories like that, you know, Warhammer, Game of Thrones, they do that. They focus on that. But Lord of the Rings does sort of be like, you know, there is hope. You've got to actually, you know, stand up for yourself in these hopeless situations. Even when you yourself don't have hope, even when the situation is hopeless and you might die, you should still have hope. And I really enjoy that. Other than that, all the acting is really good. What really stuck out to me is how much more I like Sam. Sam is a very good character. Well played, well acted, well cast. Sean Astin did a fantastic job. You know, he's just a really good character, and that was kind of lost on me on other watches. I think it's maybe because it is the extended edition, and I haven't watched it in a long time. But Sam is the real MVP here, and he doesn't get enough love, I would say. Frodo was also less insufferable, which is good. Yeah, Aragorn is still the best, obviously. Viggo Mortensen kills it, of course. Just going to take a drink real quick. I'm very thirsty. Sorry about that. But yeah, Viggo Mortensen kills it as Aragorn. John Rhys Davies kills it as Gimli. And Treebeard. You double roll. Yeah. And Gandalf was, obviously, everyone loves Gandalf. Yeah. The scene at the end of Return of the King, where Aragorn and Arwen are like next to the four hobbits, and they're like, "My friends, you bow to no one." That legitimately got me, because with the extended edition, you can see, like, you get more time with the characters. It's like twice as long, so you get more time with them, and they're really, really, really cool. It's really neat to see them, improve, like as people, and you really see the arcs a lot better, and you get more time to care about them. So when Aragorn comes around and he says, "You bow to no one," it's really, really, really solid. And yeah, I would say it's a lot longer than the Star Wars original trilogy, but I would say on par in quality. Very, very, very